Here we are again, eh? Michael Warner said that at some point in the early 19th century, I'd be inclined to put it at the late 18th century, but there you go, the lyric became the dominant mode of poetics. And then, by now, the lyric becomes the entirety of poetry. That obviously excludes older genres, the epic, satire, Georgics, elegy. It excludes a lot. The lyric is based on a productive misreading, let's say. A productive misreading that creates a sense of presence. In a lyric, if I was to say I, you'd think that means you. And equally, if I was to say you could easily place yourself in the position of I. If you hear it now, if you listen. There are others in this room with us. There are others in this room with us. If you listen, there are others. The air is thick with them. When I say you, which you do I mean? The you who sit out there, invisible, mostly unnamed, or the you that my voice actually passes through, that sits on the tip of my tongue, that passes through my language. That is the public. Lyric. Lyric became popular. 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 As Michael Warner says, about the same time as the idea of the bourgeois public and of liberal democracy. Lyric, that transposition of my I directly to your I, whoever and wherever you are. And that you transcribed directly to your you, without passing through that public. In fact, almost as an antidote to it. You can hear them. You can hear them. You can hear them. You can hear them. Crowds of strangers, 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 crowds of strangers, crowds of strangers, strangers. The newspapers, thick with them, we read them through their eyes. The air is thick with the air, is thick with the air, is thick with the air. It's their bodies on the razor, on the razor, on the razor. As unknown boys, unknown boys, unknown boys, unknown boys, unknown boys, unknown boys, unknown boys. The basis, the public, the public, the public, the public, is the stranger. There is no public without the stranger. And outside that space, where am I? Outside, a small circle of light, a name. At what point do we pass back through the public? At what point is it lost and the lyric becomes dominant? In the early 19th century, the Ruchen figure came down from his mountain. You probably know him. Stood here like that. Walking stick, isn't it? Admiring the vista. And rather than simply seeing him, or rather his or her back, vanishing up the next mountain pass, or being swallowed into the mysteries of the forest, and being unable to catch up and see through those eyes that consumed the rocks and the clouds, the leaves, the sermons in babbling brooks, or whatever it happened to be. The Ruchen figure come down, attracted perhaps by the rustle of notes and the chime of coins. But having a refined sensibility, it would never be that simple. Perhaps just to look around. Or maybe to find a buyer, maybe to find a buyer, maybe to find a buyer, maybe to buyer. Without knowing it, without knowing it, without knowing it, without knowing it. And now our calls for are couched in the language of the lyric. The short circuit that loses the public of ghosts, the public of strangers. We want intimacy. as a I is you. You were groomed by the welfare state, by methadone clinics and free dentistry. You were groomed by public service broadcasting. You were groomed by free milk, free glasses. You were groomed and corrupted by trade union membership when it meant something. That interiority, bracketed between the shoulders like an ellipsis, vanishing up the mountain passes and into the mystery of the forest. And one never used to see through your eyes. Christmas Day, nil combat. Lights. Christmas Day, nil combat. Great. There's an empty space at the middle of the city. There's an empty space in the centre of the state. I have marked an empty state in here and graveyard down here. The example and the exception are related to the example and the exception bear some relation. The example and the exception bear some relation. the example and the exception bear some relation. Remember me when I've gone away, gone far away into that far-off land, when you can no longer hold me by the hand, nor I yet turn to go, yet turning stay, just becomes posture.